The pandemic is not just changing the school year for kids, but teachers too.
If this is your first time teaching in an online environment, breathe. It's not as difficult as it sounds. It's just something new.
So we turn to education expert and teacher Kimberly D for tips on how to teach in a virtual classroom. First, get techy.
Each online classroom uses a different platform. Some schools decide they want to use Zoom, some use Skype, and some schools have their own internal platform. So you need to get familiar with that before class. You do not want to be in your classroom and this is your first time using it. You need to know how to mute your students, how to mute all, how to let your students into the class, how to share your screen. I recommend you practice with your friends and conduct a mock class with them.
Next, be the maestro of your classroom.
The same way a maestro is the conductor of an orchestra to keep the harmony, you must do that for your classroom. Otherwise, everyone is going to be speaking on top of each other. So at the beginning of class, you want to let your students know, if you need to speak, you can either raise your hand physically or there's a button on certain classrooms that says raise your hand. If you have a list of rules, to send that out to the parents before class so they can become familiar.
Her third tip, smile for the camera.
In a brick and mortar classroom, there are not cameras on you 24/7. So you have to be mindful. Everything you do is on tape. So I know kids can be kids. All kids are not behaved properly, but you have to understand, in an online classroom, there is no principal's office. There is no detention. So never lose your cool. When things get tough, just take a minute and smile and then reiterate your expectations.
And finally, use props.
Lecture style teaching is very good for older students. Lecture style doesn't really work that good for smaller students. If you're teaching little students, if you're teaching about cats and dogs, I can show you I have a dog, I have a cat. You want to kind of be interactive.
We're helping teachers tackle the online space with virtual teaching tips.